I'd like to invite everyone to just join me in a spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. So let's just know this together. If you'd like to close your eyes, that's great. But let's know together that this is a universe of good. That there is really only one thing, life itself, love itself, God itself, that each one of us is an individualization of this thing that we call life or God. And that as such, we are able to think thoughts that really impact our lives and our world. And so knowing this, I declare that everything good and beneficial and wonderful is right at hand, right now, this very, very moment. That this good for us is overflowing. That it is manifesting in beautiful ways, including in this celebration together, this time of fellowship and inspiration and music. I know that good is right where we are and that all is well. I rejoice that this is true, and I turn this prayer over to Spirit, understanding that the answer is yes. I let go. I let God. And I invite you to close with me by affirming, and so it is.
I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the joy of God down in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the joy of God down in my heart. How about peace? I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the peace of God down in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the peace of God down in my heart. Let's see, and how about love? I've got the love, 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 love down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Let's all click. Down in my heart. I've got the love, 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 love down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of God down in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of God down in my heart. Let's go back to joy. Last one. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where?
Thank you, Lucille. Always a pleasure to have you.
Betcha.
And so great to start off with a rousing song like that. Joy. We're all about the joy.
Betcha.
So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Another applause for Lucille Park, a wonderful musician. Yay, yay. Great to be here. Okay. And I'm Morgan McGregor, and it's my warm pleasure to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living of Carlsbad, where we understand that there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. And last week I signed up for candle lighting. So that would be awkward if I did candle lighting. Our friend Brula would like to volunteer. Thanks, Brula. And to Phil, I'm going to tell a joke. Reverend Maureen up here, I'm going to tell a joke about a joke. So how can you tell the joke I'm telling you right now is a dad joke? It's apparent. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming. First, we light a candle for life. Life is everywhere present, flowing through each and every one of us. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is our life now. Please affirm with me, I am life. We light a candle for love. The birth of love happens with each one of us every time we make room for the Christ consciousness in our hearts and recognize our unity with that Christ consciousness. We are points of love within God's heart. Please affirm with me now, I am love. We light a candle for light. The light of God is the presence and the power. We are always walking in the light. We radiate the light of God wherever we are, and we allow our light to shine. Please affirm with me now, I am light. We light a candle for beauty. We are made in the likeness and image of God. We are each whole, complete, and beautiful just as we are. We accept the beauty of God's perfection as our perfection now. Please affirm with me now, I am beauty. We light the candle for joy. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. Each day we celebrate the joy of our own rebirth in the God consciousness. We each bring joy to the world. Please affirm with me now, I am joy. We light the candle for peace. Today and every day we open our hearts to peace. It begins with us. We are each a center of peace in the world. Please affirm with me now, I am peace. And finally, I invite you to take a moment to recognize your own inner light that is always shining within. As we each honor our own metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles and abiding love. Thank you for listening. Okay, I have a few announcements to share. I want to offer a special welcome to anyone visiting for the first time today and invite you to make yourself at home. Join us for fellowship after the service, and please sign our guest book in the lobby. Every Sunday we offer spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer as our gift to you. If you have a prayer request today, you can either speak to Reverend Kate and Dr. Maddie after the service. Reverend Maureen is still hosting a Spiritual Aloha group on Zoom every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. And if you need the Zoom link, please let us know during fellowship. We have a flyer we can give you. What's that?
And I'm doing that with Maureen, and it's great. We're having a good time.
Excellent.
People should try it.
Okay. We've got some affirmation here that this is really good. Okay. And our next announcement is an invitation to the February 24th celebration of life for our dear Elaine Bungay. And the invitations are in the lobby for that. And although Larry was not able to be here today, he wants to be sure to share the information with you so that you can attend the celebration of life. Next Sunday is Potluck Sunday, yay! And we'll have a special guest program. Our Michael Paul Smith is going to share his program about the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. with us. And you may not know this about Michael Paul, but he toured Europe, Asia, and South America, as well as the United States with the Albert McNeil Jubilee Singers. He's put together his music and stories about Dr. King, and of course we're all going to enjoy that. In fact, it's the perfect day to invite a friend to come along with you. I want to give an important heads up to everyone that 3 weeks from now, on March 3rd, 3 weeks from now, we'll be meeting somewhere else. Not here. The space is going to be used for early voting. We'll probably be meeting at the Harding Center, though it's not too late to give Reverend Kate any suggestions if you have someplace that would be perfect. Good. Okay, so our next segment is our volunteers. And this is truly a community-based spiritual center. It takes a village. Reverend Kate can't do all of it herself, although she's fabulous. It does take a team to keep it going. So I'd like to recognize some of the behind-the-scenes volunteers and helpers who may be in the background, not showing up on stage, but are still so very important. So Ruth Ann did our fabulous flowers today. She's doing so marvelous. And Odie and Pop were our greeters today. Thank you, Odie, and Kelly Roosevelt. And treats today were by Jan Sherburne and Reverend Kate. Jim, I'm going to call out a special thank you to Jim. He's wearing 3 hats today. He's doing the lobby setup, the video recording, and our inspirational reading today. Yay, Jim! Oh, I see. I'm shifting pages around here. Let's circle back to our prayer requests. If you have a prayer request, you may see Reverend Kate or Dr. Maddie. Also, you can fill out a written prayer request back at the table and put it in the treatment box. And the prayer team will do prayer treatments for you all week. And please feel free to continue submitting your prayer requests until you get the results you want. Okay. Now we have the group reading inside our program. Does everyone have a program? Do I have a program? Somewhere in here. If you would read with me, please. God is all, both visible and invisible, one presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. And so it is. And now we have another song by Lucille. The group song. It's the group song, so that means we all stand for the group song.
Yeah, if you're comfortable standing, please do, but if you're not, that's okay too. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna do, thank you so much. We're gonna do the spiritual hokey pokey. And let's make sure everybody, I tried to space them out, make sure it's not in the program. And here, let's make sure everybody's got it here. This is Reverend Lisa Stewart, who was a student of Reverend James, gosh, 30 years ago, something. She is now a minister in where is it? Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I lived there for a year, and she's changed the words. Does anybody still need words, y'all? Anybody? Anybody else? Because these words are fantastic. Here we go. Okay. Anybody else? I'm sorry. I need mine. I'm sorry.
This one.
Oh, good. Thanks, Mandy. So we're going to sing the first verse once. No, twice. Let's do each verse twice. And then on the chorus where it says you do the, oh, feel free to turn. You know, when I taught kids for 34 years, they just loved it. You do hokey, hokey, you know, so feel free to do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. So feel free, you know, to get into it. And yeah, so if we let's do the verse twice, the chorus twice, the verse twice, and then the chorus twice at the end. All righty? Here we go. This is so fun. Okay? I put my prayer treatment in. I toss my old beliefs out. I commit to the action that will bring it all about. I do some meditation and turn my life around. That's what it's all about. One more time. I put my prayer treatment in, I toss my old beliefs out, I commit to the action that will bring it all about. I do some meditation and turn my life around. That's what it's all about. You do the hokey pokey, you do the hokey pokey. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. One more time. You do the hokey pokey. You do the hokey pokey. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Second verse. Yeah. I put my whole heart in. I throw my inner critic out. I release all the stuff I've been whining all about. I do some acts of kindness and expand my gratitude. That's what it's all about. Let's repeat. I put my whole heart in. I throw my inner critic out. I release the stuff I've been whining all about. I do some acts of kindness and expand my gratitude. That's what it's all about. You do the hokey pokey. You do the hokey pokey. You do the hokey hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. One more time. You do the hokey pokey. You do the hokey pokey. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Hokey pokey!
That was fabulous. That was the most fun song we have ever done. That was great. Thanks, Lucille. Okay, now to get all serious, I'd like to invite Jim Maspist up to do our inspirational reading.
Thank you. Today's reading is from Divine Science Minister, Reverend R. Youngman from Australia. In Act 2, Scene 2 of Shakespeare's play, Hamlet considers the world to be a prison. His friends, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, disagree. Hamlet realizes that there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Or in the words of Buddhist scripture, our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. A person I know sees the world as full of cheats and liars. As a result, he does not trust anyone. As a result, he has no friends, and at least none he perceives as such. His life, too, is shaped by his thinking. If we think the world is evil, if we think everything is against us, then that is the way we will experience it. Buddhist scriptures from 2,400 years ago say this: in this world, hate never dispelled hate. Only love dispels hate. This is the law, ancient and exhaustible. The truth is, only love dispels hate. That only love breaks the cycle of hate and bitterness. When at times I feel that all the world is against me, I am able to turn within, in silence or in prayer, to the divine at my center. Love breaks through, and I know that all is well. All is good. I forgive. I begin to love my enemies. I know peace once more. The truth is, as we turn within, we find love.
And now we have more music by Lucille.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say.
And now we have our special treat. Reverend Kate is back. We've had wonderful speakers while she's been gone, and we so missed her. And it is my pleasure to welcome back Reverend Kate.
And it's my pleasure to be back. Is this microphone too loud? No, it's okay? Because we had fresh batteries. So, so I wanted to make sure it's not too loud. I had a really great trip, and it's really good to be here. And I want to thank everyone because while I was gone, everything went so smoothly. And Morgan and Verla both presided, and Reverend Amandra and Reverend Karen spoke. And I got to watch them on video. It was really great. And you know what's so wonderful? It's wonderful not to be indispensable. So I want to thank you all for the gift of not being indispensable. Because that allowed me to just enjoy my trip. So my husband and I took a trip to El Salvador and Guatemala. The main part of the trip was Guatemala. We went there because we're in Rotary Club, which is a service organization, and our club had made a connection with a club in Guatemala. And we had helped fund their scholarship program. So when you think of a scholarship program here in the United States, you think, oh, you're going to pay the tuition or room and board and maybe buy a computer for a student. So this program was a little different, however. It was for elementary school children and some secondary school children who lived in rural communities around the city where we were, of Ratahulo. And the whole goal of the program was to help their families and the students so that the kids wouldn't have to drop out and go to work. Because that's the level that they're working at, is even though a child doesn't earn much, they can earn enough to pay for the food for the family. And that's kind of what it was about. So there were 65 children that had been selected on the need basis. And it was really fun for us because what happened was after the kids were selected, they were all invited to come to town and come to an auditorium in a nice hotel. And then they had presentations and slideshows. And the kids were so good. They watched it because we came in and it was already going on. It was a slideshow on nutrition, how to take care of their teeth and other important things. And the children just sat there and listened. And then when that was over, the crowd broke up. And they went and they lined up and they got weighed and their height measured. Because part of the program is to check back every year and make sure that the children are growing. Then they went to the next station where they got measured for shoes. And the next one, they got measured for t-shirts. And the next one, they got a backpack full of school supplies. And then the next one, they got a great big bag of food, including some protein supplements, powdered whey and powdered, I think soy powder was included. And that had been part of the lecture, how to use that. And then they went to another table, and I was surprised, where they were counting out money, and they handed the children the equivalent of about $75, which was basically, it's not that much, but it was enough to subsidize the food in the family for a couple of months. And that was the key to making sure that the children could stay in school. And part of the program was that if the children went to school and had good attendance, then in another 2 months, the family would get the equivalent of about $50. So that was a very important part of the program. And then, of course, as they were done and leaving, they all got a snack and a drink. So then they all headed out to wherever they lived in the different towns by bus, I guess. So it was a great program, I thought. And, I should say, our local Rotary Club here in San Diego County, we provided a lot of the financial support, but also the Rotarians in Guatemala organized the whole thing, and they had lots of in-kind contributions. I was surprised because here are people, the kids, and they had this big bag of food, and then I forgot to mention, they also all got a flat of eggs to take home that one of the local ranchers had donated to all the kids. So it's like, how do you even carry all this on a bus? But it was good. They each had a parent there to help them. So it was really nice to be a part of that. And I know all the Rotarians that came from our club, and we came because we wanted to be part of the program, but we also wanted to meet the club in Guatemala because we're talking about doing more projects with them in the future. So we wanted to see, what are these people like? What are they doing? And it was great. The kids had fun. Their parents were happy. But I'm not sure, it seemed like the Rotarians were happiest of all. Because isn't it true when you think about donating and giving, who gets the very most pleasure out of it? The giver. Often that's the case. So where does this idea of donating and giving come from? Why do we like to give? Well, I just think that it's love. We give and we enjoy giving because of this feeling of love. I mean, really, if you think about it, behind this whole event, and this was the biggest event the club had ever done. It's been going on for decades, but it started with just a few kids. But behind this whole event, in the very beginning, someone in Guatemala had a thought, a loving thought, that was like a spark or a seed that was then planted into the fertile soil of possibility. It was nurtured with love until it burst forth in this amazing auditorium full of children and their parents. And this is really how life works. So I thought today, I was talking about love makes the world go round. I wanted to share that story of a wonderful experience that I had in Guatemala. And of course we did lots of other fun things too, like going on boat rides and seeing ruins and eating amazing food. The people were really nice and friendly and super polite. It was great. But other things are also going on, so that was a celebration of a scholarship program. So we also, a lot of people are celebrating the fact that the Lunar New Year began yesterday. It's the year of the dragon. And unlike in our scary Arthurian legends, in Asia, dragons are wonderful. They represent good fortune and success. And so as the new year is celebrated, really every year, it is an act of looking forward to the next year in hope and joy. And if you've ever seen pictures or gone to one of their New Year's celebrations, you see the amazing costumes, and I've seen they're not just like costumes for one person, but they're like 10 people inside a dragon costume. They're just amazing. And when you think about it, you have to recognize the commitment and the love that goes into the preparations. It's very, it just demonstrates all the passion that they have for these festivals. And I feel that it also demonstrates love in action in the same way that our celebration in Guatemala did. And of course, today, America is celebrating a very important holiday, right? Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, it's a day when even people like me that don't really follow sports are going to turn on the TV and look at a little football. Because why? Because there's just this feeling of energy and passion and for me, appreciation. Once in a while, I will appreciate that football is a game of strategy, is a game of strength, it's a game of surprise, and really deep passion. So yeah, the fans are passionate, but if you think about it, at some point in time, the seed was planted with just people playing a game with a ball, having a lot of fun, and look how it has really blossomed into something special. So I would say Super Bowl Sunday is in a way also an expression of love in action. And no surprise, Wednesday, what are we going to have? Valentine's Day. And whether you're like newly in love and it's a very romantic day, or maybe like some of us, you've been married over 50 years, and it's still going to be a nice day, but it's very obvious to everyone that, you just walk out and the candy aisle is pink now, right? So I brought some Tootsie Roll Pops, they're pink. So we can only enjoy that. And the fact is you don't have to dig deep at all to see that Valentine's Day is a holiday about love in all its aspects. From romantic love to, I'm sure that most of you remember when you were a little kid, passing out Valentine's Day cards to your classmates. It was fun, right? So let's have some fun this Valentine's Day. Get in the mood, get in the groove. Look up some Valentine's Day silly rhymes or jokes. So naturally I brought you a few. We're thinking about Reverend Maureen today and her silly jokes. I guess we miss her. She's coming, she'll be here in a couple of weeks to speak for us, so that'll be nice. Okay. What did the light bulb say to the other light bulb?
What?
You light up my world. What did the cucumber say to the pickle?
What?
You mean a great deal to me. And what do cats always say on Valentine's Day? You're perfect. So, those are funny. And once upon a time, a long, long time ago, one of my grandmothers sent me a very fancy Valentine's Day card with lots of pages in it. It had a story in it, and it was supposed to be the legend of Saint Valentine. I remember it really well because it bothered me so much. I was probably 11 and I read the story and I was like, oh. So the main part I remember is it was a story about St. Valentine being locked up in prison and he watered his plant with tears. He had this little plant and he kept it alive, watering it with tears, and then he died and the plant was still there. It was like, I was kind of young and it bothered me. So I still remember it. I wanted to share it with you so you can all be bothered by that story now. And now that I'm older, I can see, she probably maybe didn't read that whole card or she thought it was sweet, I don't know. But I think that at whatever I was, 10 or 11, I would have liked to get a card that said something like, roses are red, violets are blue, you're a good little kid and I love you, right? That might have been better, but I got food for thought and stuff, and that's good. Well, it turns out that there actually are about a dozen St. Valentines, and there was one, maybe the first, I don't know, and he was in prison, so, but I really think the story about the plant must have been made up. I don't know, anyway. But the thing is, why was that story so thought-provoking? You know, that's the question. I mean, frankly, it is a pathetic story. Meaning it is a story that has power, at least for a 10-year-old, to produce an emotion or to arouse pity. And so what is pity? Pity is that feeling of sorrow that you get that's caused by the suffering of other people. Not of yourself, but of other people. So how is it that we can feel sorrow about the misfortune of others? Whether it's someone you know, or whether it's some person that, you know, lived hundreds of years ago and it's even a made-up story. How do we feel? How can we feel that about other people? Or how is it, on the other hand, that we feel so much happiness about the good fortune of others? You know, I don't follow football at all, and I'm still happy that Taylor Swift has a boyfriend who plays football. I don't follow her or football, but I'm happy for her. How is it that we feel good when a kid gets a scholarship? Not our kid, but we just feel good about it. You know, and how is it that we feel appreciation for the hard work and success of others? So I don't think everyone knows it, but Odie sent me a picture of her dog's graduation yesterday. Her little dog Teddy is enrolled in a class to become a therapy dog, and so I guess he's like on whatever class that was. She had a little graduation photo, and it made me happy. Why? It's not even a human. Well, she was in the picture, but I was happy for the dog too. But you know, why do we love to do this, and why are we so impacted by other people? Well, you all know the answer, of course. We're connected. We feel connected because we are connected. We really are one people. True? Mm-hmm. So then what about the feelings that you might feel about things in nature? I mean, nature's could include people, but it's not necessarily nature. You know, you go to the ocean and watch the sun rise. Don't you feel that similar welling up of emotion? You know, pet a cat. Don't you feel a certain sense? I mean, if you like cats, at least. You know, it's like, oh, that feels so nice and soft and happy little cat. Or if you take a long walk by the lagoon or in nature, don't you feel either uplifted or maybe relaxed, calmed down a little bit? Why? Because we're connected. We're not just connected to each other, but we're connected to everything. And so we have this actual relationship with nature and relationship with each other. And it's not pretend, it's real. We are really, really connected to each other and to the world. We're connected to everyone and everything because actually there is only one thing. What is it? We call it life, or you could call it spirit, or you could call it love. I like to think of it as love in action. So then you have to ask yourself, what is love? And that's not always so easy to answer. When you think of it in all its dimensions, I thought I would just Google what's the definition of love, and I was like, oh, there's over 20 definitions of love. And subscribe to the Oxford English Dictionary, and we'll name them all for you. But I didn't do that. I found a really good definition that I like. It said, love is like curry. A mixture of joy, sorrows, tears, laughs, fear, care, possessiveness, freedom, anger, and respect. So it could be spicy or it could be bland, but I thought, well, it's good. Love is complicated. I'll give it that. Now, if you go to what we call our textbook, the Science of Mind book that was written by Ernest Holmes, and you can look up love in the glossary. So here's what that says. Love is the self-givingness of the spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Emerson tells us that love is a synonym for God. We are also told in the New Testament that he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. Love is free from condemnation, even as love is free from fear. Love is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. I like that. Maybe it's more closer than saying love is like curry, but they're both good. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus reminds people that it rains on good people and bad people alike, indicating nothing is withheld from us because of this or that reason. Just like a parent can love a child no matter what. Love transcends all. Love exercises no judgment. Love simply is. When you talk about that greater love, which is sometimes referred to as agape, or the love of God, you're talking about what we refer to as the presence. So when I was studying to be a minister, I took a class from Reverend Dr. Tom Sanner, and he gave a long class on the intricacies of Thomas Troward's writings. But anyway, I just want to read a little bit about that. So in our lesson, Dr. Sanner said that Troward wrote that, quote, we touch the face of God when we reach that indescribable reciprocity or mirroring of feeling by which we instinctively recognize something in another person, another thing, making it kin or like family to ourselves. And Dr. Sanner explained then that when our individual conscious mind comes into direct contact with universal mind, that's when cosmic intelligence becomes individualized as us. And individual intelligence becomes universalized. That's what Troward was talking about, using the term, we touch the face of God. The two, the universal and the individual, become one. Recognizing this, Troward, who was one of the main inspirations to the founder of religious science, Ernest Holmes, Troward declared that the true meaning of worship is, I am the person that thou art, and thou art the person that I am. Simply oneness. This acceptance and acknowledgement of our oneness, which Sanner called the love of God that cannot be explained, but must be experienced. I mean, think of light. How would you explain what light is? Well, if you were a scientist, you might describe it in some way that other people wouldn't understand. But for us, if you know what light is. We see it all around us. It's coming from there, it's coming from the window. We use it all the time. It lets us walk around without falling over too much to read. Lets us enjoy the beauty of the day. So, how do you experience love? well, it's hard to describe, but we use it constantly. It's always in our lives. The fact is that we experience love through receiving love, through giving love, and through being love, and recognize ourselves as being love, because life really is love in action. And so you can say love really does make the world go round. And this week, being Valentine's Day week, I wanted to share with you all one of the affirmations that really helped me a lot when I was studying science of mind. And it was, I learned it from Reverend Debbie O'Donnell, who's now in Minnesota. And I'm sure she learned it from someone else. But I want to share it with you today, and I really want to encourage everyone to use it this week especially, but anytime. It's very simple. I am loving, lovable, and loved. I am loving, lovable, and loved. So we're going to say that together 3 times, so you get it in your mind. I am loving, lovable, and loved. I am loving, lovable, and loved. I am loving, lovable, and loved. And that's the truth, and so it is. Thank you.
God makes me want to sing. feel so good, I can do anything. Makes me feel so good, and I can do anything. Yeah.
Lucille, you're marvelous today. You're in top form.
Can't help it, can
That's really is great. Okay, so well, I've been talking about giving, so naturally now it's time for us to give back to our center. So I know that a lot of people are now using Venmo, and of course, for a long time we've been using credit cards. If you want to use a credit card, you can do that in the bookstore. But right now, let's just know the truth. That it is an opportunity to give back to something that has benefited us. And I just want to express my gratitude for being part of the center, for everything that makes the center possible, from the volunteerism to the participation to even the financial support. It's all a beautiful blessing. I think of it as like being a bouquet, just like this bouquet of flowers before me. Each little part adds together, making something fabulous. Knowing this, I just give thanks to the abundance overflowing for each of us right here, right now. Turn it over to Spirit, knowing all is well. And so it is. In your program, there's a short phone, and Lucille wrote this.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So I just want to remind you, next week is Potluck Sunday. We'll have a special presentation from Michael Paul. If you are going to be here next week, I would love it if you would sign up to volunteer. The list is on the lobby table. And don't forget to pick up a Tootsie Roll Pop before you leave today. Join us for fellowship. So in closing, I'd like to offer a spiritual mind treatment. Just remind, Dr. Maddie, do you want to give the clothing treatment? Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, Manny.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's close knowing that there is one and only one mind, one creation, one loving divine spirit that I call God. And this one that I call God is in each of us, loving us, supporting us, caring for us, and will take us through the next week and will take us not only where we need to go, but where we want to go. So we leave here today knowing that this God, in all, as all, can do anything. And for this, I am deeply grateful. I give thanks. I'm mostly grateful for the love of the one who first loved us. So we go with hearts lifted up, hearts happy, knowing that not only symbolically is this the week of love for the world, that we, each of us is love. We come from love and is love. And so with a grateful heart, I give these words over to Spirit and invite you to affirm with me by saying, and so it is.